Hello and welcome to a Warframe video. So I wanted to record my first time entering a sentient ship. Now this footage is pre-recorded. I had recorded it the first time that I actually went there, and I just decided to voice over it just to share some thoughts about the ship. The sentient ship will appear every 2 hours and 40 minutes, and the way it appeared for me, normally it says that it's like a random, it'll spawn on a random node as a blinking, flashing red light on that specific node or mission of in the Veil Proxima. You just have to do the mission that it's blinking and to find the ship, and then just make your way to it and go into it. The thing is, I actually had to complete every single node in Veil Proxima for the sentient ship to even appear. So I don't know if that's a requirement. That's a lot of work, having to complete everything. I guess you could join a public party and hope that, hope to God that they know what they're doing. I partially did some of that. I partially soloed some of the other missions. It was a pain, but I did it. Got a railjack that's decent enough to survive, and got one of the best tanking warframes right now for railjack missions, which is Chroma. And going into the sentient ship for the first time. It's actually quite interesting. I do like the tile set. It's very alien-y, considering it's kind of like, it kind of reminded me of like the Iridian tile set in Borderlands 3, or in Borderlands general, like that alien vibe from it. Obviously the entire ship is littered with sentience, and each of them have their own abilities and everything, and of course they have that resistance thing where, when you do damage to them, they gain resistance to that damage, but if you do a significant amount of damage, you can kill them before they do anything. The first time I was actually on the ship and killing them, I wanted to start scanning them, but I did a mistake and I recalled by accident, so I had to fly over to the ship again. A big mistake, ignore that. Don't do that. I know that I could have just, had Helios just, scan things for me, but the problem is that enemies here are level 80 plus, so and they all do like a significant amount of AoE damage, so your Sentinel will die. And the only reason why I have Sentinel, specifically I have Digin with me, is because that when he dies, he can use his mod to reawaken. The mod Reawaken allows him to resurrect himself after a certain amount of time, which is the reason why I only have Digin. Pets are somewhat bugged. I haven't tried MOAs yet. The game was rushed to be brought to us, so it has a bazillion bugs, so I wouldn't be surprised if everything is broken. So I decided to pick whatever worked at that time, and whatever, could work, and then just make do with it. I wanted to complete the Arrow quest line. That was my objective. And of course acquire the Shadow, which is a sentient weapon. It's kind of like an arm cannon, the first of its kind. Unfortunately, the sentient arm cannon is, well, it's actually pretty damn good. In fact, it's too good. Decent damage, infinite supply of ammunition. It regenerates just so damn fast that it's just you have infinite ammo. Literally, it's a weapon that allows you to have infinite ammo. It is a primary weapon, but it is broken right now. It's broken as all hell. Like, I haven't been able to go into a single mission with it not breaking. Specifically, it breaks, apparently a lot of players have the same problem, and it breaks a lot often, and a lot more, quicker when you're in a public game, which kind of sucks, because I like doing public games, and I want to use the new weapon that I just got, the new weapon that took forever to farm, that took me literally a very long time to farm for resources for the railjack, building the railjack, making it stronger, completing every node against enemies who are just, for some reason, ridiculously tough, or tougher than most common enemies. Getting through all the things I needed to do to get the Shadow, and it's broken. It's supposed to be a satisfying feeling when you get it, but it isn't, because not only do you have to do a lot to get the blueprint itself, just to get the blueprint done, you also have to farm the parts for it. The resource parts. and that's a pain. So a lot of RNG and a lot of progress that needs to be done, a lot of grinding, just an enormous amount of grinding, only to get a weapon that's currently not only bugged as all hell, but also broken. Like, it's unusable. It'll render itself unusable after a couple of shots. And that's a problem, because it's supposed to be the first kind of its weapon, and it's kind of leaving a bad, bitter taste in my mouth. And I'm not the only one with this thought. Obviously, currently, very few people have the Shadow. You have to get the blueprint from completing the mission, so you have to somehow get to the Sentient Ship, destroy that crystal if you want to get the Shadow blueprint. The parts are tradable, so you could go into the trade chat and trade for them if you want, or you can farm the sentients, kill them for a chance to get the parts needed. But you still have to get the blueprint by completing the mission, so good luck with that. It was a pain, that's definitely for certain. The sentients aren't really that tough, and of course the paracesis has, if you actually have polarized it enough times, it gains a, not only does it increase in its rank capacity, going from rank 30 to 40, but also on top of that, with every increased rank, it also gains more sentient damage. So obviously combining that with Chroma and Vex armor and a decent amount of power strength was the best way to just annihilate the Sentinels without any problem and also tank them at the same time. It was the best way for me at the time to solo the Sentients. So that's what I did. And well, obviously you'll have to do all this if you want to complete the Arrow quest line, which is a requirement for for continuing. Considering all the amount of grind you have to do just to get there, it's not just completing missions to get to an objective, it's actually grinding. A heavy amount of grind, grinding the ship, the railjack itself. It's kind of a problem when you can't make any progress to, intrinsics and generally any progress until you have a railjack to begin with. So for new players, that's an enormous amount of work to be done. And the end, when you do get to that point, it kind of feels a bitter taste in your mouth until the Shadow has been properly fixed at the very least. It leaves a bitter taste because it's kind of unreliable at the current time. So yeah, all you have to do is go to the Sentient Ship, destroy this crystal using the paracesis. The paracesis is a requirement, and then as soon as you go back to your orbiter, you can either complete the mission or just abort the mission if you want to. And once you do that, you will be given a waypoint that basically tells you what you need to do to, to complete the Arrow quest line, which is just a cinematic. No spoilers ahead, but it's just a cinematic. You don't really have to do anything. It's very simple. And as soon as it's done, very similar to the Chimera prologue, you just get the blueprint. So yeah. And like I said, it leaves a little bit of a bittersweet taste, mostly because of the fact that the Shadow is currently broken as all hell. So yeah, hopefully that gets fixed very, very soon. I'm actually surprised that a lot of people had the same problem with the Shadow being broken, so I'm actually kind of surprised no one has actually raised their voices to say. But then again, considering the amount of progress you have to do just to get the damn thing, yeah, I'm pretty sure not that many people have this weapon yet. And considering everything you have to do to get a broken weapon that doesn't work half the time, or actually it doesn't work all the time, especially when you're in squad, it breaks every single time after a few uses. It's not satisfying. It doesn't leave any bit of satisfaction. On the bright side, however, the Sentient Ship tile set is definitely pretty cool. I do like it. It kind of reminds me of Doom a little bit, but it's nice to see what plans they have ahead. Hopefully, not that broken plans. A lot of fixes need to be repaired. But yeah, this is my first time going on the Sentient Ship, and I just wanted to record it. So thanks for watching. Stay cool, and I'll see you later. Bye.